is Terry from Sweet Pea Papers in the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group. And ho ho ho, Merry Christmas in July. This is video 2 in our Frozen Christmas video series. This is part of the Crafty Christmas in July 2023 collaboration. And if you want to win in the drawing that we're going to have on July 31st, 2023, now it depends on when you're watching this, that's why I keep saying the date. So between July 1st and July 31st, there's a first series of Christmas, a Christmas book project. That'll be the first 2 weeks of the month, so you can go back and watch those. And then the videos for this series here. And all you have to do to enter is to be a subscriber and also make a comment below, any comment, and then use the hashtag Christmas, use the hashtag Crafty Christmas in July 2023. And that'll be on the screen, and you'll see that. So where we left off in video 1, we had made our signature covers, and this worked out really well because it was the picture we wanted for the very first image when you open the book. And then we've got these here. We can still put a pocket here if we wanted. And then we've got an image here. And then we've got this on the back, and I don't think I'm going to put a pocket or anything on the back, but I might put a hidden pocket here because our signature is going to go in here. And the same with this one. Okay. And then I put the triple thick on the little critters. So there's triple thick on the deer, and there's triple thick on the birds. We did that in video 1. Then we also made our bookmark, and I used Mod Podge on it, and it's matte. And in fact, I'm going to have to spray this again with the snow. I forgot to tell you, the little sparkle spray that I use, apparently the Mod Podge or what I use to coat this is it makes it matte, and so you lose the little shine to it. So I'm going to have to respray that, I just realized. And then this is our writing board. Now, it's too thin to put corners on, plus if we put corners on it, real ones, then it'll be too thick to slide down in our pocket where I want to put it. Now, the other thing I did was I didn't use Mod Podge. I made it the first one, and it buckled the paper in the center, and there was no way to fix it. There was no, because you're not gluing it on both sides. You're only gluing it on the one side with the Mod Podge. So if you want to put it down with Mod Podge and let it dry, and then, or just put it down with the Mod Podge and then put that over it, I think it would have worked. But gluing it down and then putting the Mod Podge on it did not work. So I had to make a second one, and now I'm really going to have to make a third one if I were to give this book away, because when I put the really cool gilding polish on it, I used Copper Shine by, oh, it's on here, but I can't read it. Oh, it's Cosmic Shimmer. You guys probably knew that by looking at the jar. Anyway, it's Cosmic Shimmer, and the color is Copper Shine Gilding Polish. And I put it all over the edges, and it looks really cool. So instead of doing the book corners, what I did was bronzed it all the way around. However, I'd never used it before. Apparently I had a little bit on one of my fingers, and I have a few little spots. And I didn't mind it being on the edge around. That's fine. In fact, I thought that looked good. But you can see over here, I have a big smear of the polish. And so if I were to give this book away or sell it, then I would have to redo this writing board. There's no way it would not pass. It would not pass the Terry test. So that would be a third one. But it's just, you know, you have to experiment and you have to try. Never used this before. I just used my finger. I probably could have used a Q-tip and I would have had a little bit more control over, you know, where I was putting it, or even a small paintbrush. But I think a small paintbrush would have put more on the edges all the way around, unless you had a teeny weeny one and a whole lot of patience. Okay, so that's our writing board and our signature covers. So I want to talk real quick to you about templates. I have a bunch of templates. I save old envelopes and interesting pockets, like these Victoria design pockets. They have these interesting edges to them. Now, I have a template of, oh, my scan and cut that out, of these two. When you buy a Victoria Designs kit, some of the older ones, and not necessarily old, but just a little bit older ones, came with some pages of templates. And I copied and pasted all those templates into a big folder called templates. And that way they were still in with the kit, in the folder with the kit, but they were also in the templates folder. So now I can print those templates out on the back side of a piece of paper. You don't need to print on the back side of a pocket. This pocket was on the page with something else that needed to have the printing on the back, and so was this one. You can see where my scan and cut into where it thought was white because there was snow there, or something light colored. So what I'll do is I will recut the pocket here, you know, kind of jiggly, and remiter the corner. Now, so what I'm getting at is you can make templates from these if you don't have any of the older kits, or I think Cara Brandon sells a kit of just templates. They're not like these. They're envelopes and cards, which is of course just square, but cards to match. And so you can get those from her. Now, I also, like I said, I've saved all kinds of templates for different envelopes, just extras that I've had left over after a project. I save them and I use them as templates to make different shaped envelopes on future projects. We're definitely going to use this one, I think, but not right now. Now, I also saved a prototype, and that's what we're going to do today. That's why I brought all this up. And here's the envelopes for this kit. So this one's pretty cute. I might make a template out of that before I make it. Both of them, actually. Okay. So, and I sorted all of my ephemera, and I paper clipped the pockets together. These are the tickets. This is the one kind of individual deal. This could go on the inside front cover, actually. I think I will. We'll have to remember that. These are the borders. These are all those little Santa squares, or rectangles, and I have a bunch because I cut up one of the backing papers and made it into little squares that was each a Santa. Now remember, every single piece of ephemera has been sprayed. It was interesting and fun. And then here's your medium cards and all of your large cards. So it looks a lot, well, it is a lot more manageable if you do it this way, because then you don't just have this big jumble of templates, ephemera, in some sort of container. I also have the words in here, the longer words in here, and a tab, and then all of my little fussy cuts are in here. All right? Just so you know. I also pulled some lace and some white eyelash trim. I pulled my liquid pearls, my white, and like I said, we're going to be using Stormy Sky when we stamp. All right. think that's it for that. I think we'll be able to just keep going now. So on this page, we're going to be using one of my templates. Oh, I also cut out with my Big Shot and tabs. I have a die for this oil tail, and then I sprayed them all with the spray, so they're all sparkly, but you can't tell because they're white. You can't see it unless you're right here. And oh, these are templates for folders, manila folders, fancy folders, all kinds of folders. Okay. All right. So here's my prototype. I made it before and then I saved it. And then I wrote the instructions on the front. So we're going to follow this, and we're going to end up with a pocket on the side, a pocket on the top, a pocket here. We'll put it on the page as a pocket. Okay? And then we'll have the two side pieces, which are actually just the tops of an envelope. So let's put that there. And these are the papers. You have more papers than you do anything else. So this is going to be our paper. We're going to be covering up most of this at the bottom, but I thought it would be pretty to have this at the top. Yeah, so that's our paper. This is what we're going to paper, this little area, this area here, which is the main area that you see. We're going to use this part of this for that. And we're going to use these two papers as the back paper back here, and then the paper on the front flaps. Okay. We don't have any scraps. We need to start making some scraps. So what we're going to do first is move these out of the way. Then we're going to, actually we're going to move all of this out of the way for just a second. We're going to look at our prototype. I keep this in with my templates. I don't keep all my prototypes with my templates, but just small ones like this. My big envelope things and other things like that, I don't. Let's fold this in half. And then just pinch it right here. And then I can never see this when I get it on the paper trimmer, so I draw a little line in pencil where I want to cut it in half. Okay, so now we're going to take this one, we're going to turn it upside down and slide it into that one, and we're done. I swear we're done. So all we have to do now is paper what we need to paper that before we slide them together. Okay, you're going to want to put this envelope flap on the outside. So you want to make sure that's slid down enough for that to lay flat, or slid up enough for that to lay flat. You're going to want to paper this before you paper this. I'm going to paper this all the way across flat, even though there's a tapered edge right here. I'm going to bring the paper over here square because I just don't want to deal with that. So I'm going to use the same paper here and here, a different image here and a different image here, which is just a very small amount. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mark on here where the flap's going to be. Okay. Oh, and we'll have a pocket where the flap is as well, a little pocket. And that way we know where to put our image. We're going to do the same thing up here. Let's do this too, just for the heck of it. And since we're going all the way across, let's mark on here where that's going to go. Excuse me. Oz, Oz, get away from the door. Get away from the door. That was fun. I'll see how long that was, and then I may or may not edit this out. You guys all know Oz by now anyway. It's part of the fam. So now we're going to take this apart. Now remember, we're not inking. We don't need to ink anything. And we're going to leave this on. We're going to be papering it so it doesn't matter that we can see it through here. So we're going to take this paper. We're going to cut it so that it fits just a little bit past this line and just a little bit past this line. And the way the image is, I don't want to go too far down in and cut off all of my image. So I'm going to go from here to here. So I need it to be this wide. I want to go over that line. Now wait a minute. Yep, that's right. And then this high. Okay. And we'll save this. It says Christmas greetings. That it would make a nice card. Okay, so now we have to figure out where we're going to cut it off. I did it the wrong way. Yeah, we're still going to need to trim it down. And then we're going to need to cut it down here. So that first cut was an estimate. That was wrong. That so looks crooked. It is. I'll have to print that again. Let me find another one real quick. Let's take a look. Santa is too big to fit on there. All right, I'm going to put you on pause and look for an image. Okay, if I would have just checked by cutting the part that was crooked off, because it went from the correct measurement up. So when I cut this off, you know, to make it straight, it still works. You know, things happen. So all we need to do is we need to glue this onto here. I think part of the problem with the writing board is that I didn't glue it all over. I didn't realize with the Mod Podge. I did glue the second one all over, and I don't know. Oh, I used a spray on it, a Krylon spray, and it is like a protector sealant, and it protects the paper even though it's still matte. Oh, that is crooked. No one will know. No one will know. Right, because we're going to cover with the other paper over here. Okay, so that works perfect. Except I want it to be. Wasn't over far enough. There was a little bit of white. We have to decide, are we going to leave a white border or aren't we on this? We're just going to cover it. Especially because we have this crooked piece of paper. And we're having to adjust, you know, the angle that we put it in at to get it to fit. So let's put it all the way over. And then angle it up. I see what the problem is. It's still crooked. I mean, it's still not going to work. Alright. We can still use it as a scrap. We'll let the glue dry. Fortunately, I already printed out another one. So, let's cut it out again. Of course, the other side of it is the Santa, which actually we could use to fix the writing board, to tell you the truth, because the way we have the writing board, we could glue this on over the top of it probably. Alright, so let's try this again. I had some ramen because my stomach has been upset since yesterday, and apparently it's like Chinese food because I'm hungry again. I don't really have that big of an appetite, so hopefully this will work. So the only other thing that I would mention is that apparently the envelope is not straight. Which, it's a factory envelope. You know. Now with that glue already there, when we put glue on this, if we put glue on this, it's going to stick right away. So we're going to have to try to get it right. If we have enough glue on here, so we might be able to buy a little slide time, because it will kind of float on top of the other for just a sec. I really like this image. Remember to line this up here so this side is straight. We're going to be covering this side so you won't see this little part where the envelope tapers, because the flap will be over it. Now this flap here will be over this. We need to cover this part of this envelope is all. So I'm going to call it 1 inch. Instead of using the other, oh, this one's white because I just printed it. I want to save this one because I want it to be a card. I'm just wondering if this is smaller than the glue. You could use this center part. It's not going to work because the I had to cut off the width. All right. Well, this video was a big mess, huh? It's a learn. I learn, you learn, everybody learns. Okay, let's say 1 inch. I want to turn it this way to get that darker color out here. Then the rest of these videos, we won't have all that chit-chat at the beginning about templates and whatnot. So we should be able to do at least 2 pages per video. Some will do more. Now, we're going to have to cover this. And let's measure this. 1 1/4. Thank goodness it's an even number. I've decided to make a pocket at the bottom instead of a tuck out of the side. So let's paper this whole thing. Now if you want, when you create something like this, and you're going to put it on the page, you could spray it with this snow spray and make it sparkly. I was very tempted before you glue it on. But the papers are not sparkly. Only the, makes it a lot easier when you're not inking, doesn't it? Only the covers. So you don't really need to. It won't really make any difference in how it looks or anything. Just cleaned my glass surface. And I just got glue on it. You don't want to glue this shut. So make sure you start down here, slide up so you're even with that and not over it, gluing the pocket shut. Okay, so I'm a little short here and a little short there because it looks like because of the way the envelope kind of tapers or something. I don't know exactly what the deal is. So to cover it, like all that showed was this little corner. Okay. Yeah, nothing should be glued together at this point. There was just some loose glue right here I didn't realize. Okay, so if we paper this all the way down, all right. Now this time, Does it matter which way we go? I don't think so. So we're going to cut the 1 1/4 wide, and then we'll measure the length. You can cut straight, it doesn't take very long to make. Duh. And once again, you don't want to go over the edge of the envelope. This way. Okay, now we need to figure out, this is where you decide whether you want a pocket here or a tuck this way. If you want a tuck, then you're going to want to glue it this way, but your tuck won't be very big. So we're going to go pocket and glue it here at this corner here. But first we need to glue the envelopes together. So we're going to take the back of this the whole back and the whole side. So we're gluing it on like a tuck. You want to line it up on this corner. Okay. I'm going to glue this down. Should we leave it open? And we have a pocket and a tuck, and a pocket, another pocket behind, and a pocket over here. Wow. Yeah, let's just glue this corner together here. No, not the corner. This end. And that gives us our pocket and a tuck and a pocket, or a tuck I mean, and a pocket here at the top where we cut the envelope off. Okay, it looks like I glued a little bit together, but it doesn't matter. All right, and then we're going to glue it down as a pocket. Or as a tuck, actually. Now remember, this is going to work because this page is open on this side. If you were going to put it on a page that this is the open side and this side is the spine side, then you would have had to make the whole thing the other way around. You would have had to tip it this way and make it this way. Okay? So let's glue it down as a tuck. I think the big OZ is laying over there on the floor. You want to glue it all the way up. Sorry, I was off camera, so I had to get it close enough so I could see what I was doing. Then we're going to glue it even the corner with the corner. So now we're not going to make all of the tags. I'll do that off camera. But we've got the pocket, the tuck, the other tuck, the pocket, and the tuck. Okay? So that looks pretty cool, I think. I think maybe on second hand thought I would have picked a different pattern possibly for this. I don't know. I'm not sure. We don't really have any patterns that are, say, this border, which would have been nice. Oh, I know what we'll do. Lace. Lace fixes everything. Oh yes, so much better. Okay. Get the end squared up. Now don't cut all the way over because you'll close up your tuck. You only want it as wide as the envelope. Okay? Not the best rolling up job, but I really don't want to spend 18 minutes sitting here doing it. Okay, so we'll put this on here. I wonder if we should put a piece here. I think so. I think we should. Don't need a lot of glue. But I think we're going to need it across the top and across the bottom. And not just down the center. A little thin square rectangle. Looks like it's going to be a little long when I straighten it out. What do you think? Too much lace? I'm not sure. Let's do it to it. Remember, this is a pocket. So we're officially going to glue the corner shut pretty much. Not really, but my dumb phone. You know who that is, don't you? It's Temu. Call me with bargains, or they text me with bargains. Several times a day. Okay, now I think what we'll do as well, instead of leaving this empty in the center, I was thinking a ribbon, but now I think maybe if we just put a little dot of liquid pearls in the middle of the flowers. I haven't used this in a long time. I don't know if it's good, bad, or otherwise. Well, it covered up the blank spot. Let me no, works fine. Huh. And then we'll have to let this dry, and then we'll put it in the book. Oh, that looks good. Okay. Apparently, if you close it really tight, the little nozzle does not clog up. So, this is what we've got. Let me give the camera a chance to focus. We got the little dots. So we'll have to set that aside to dry. And then that's our, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pocket. And then we'll put a word up here. Let's put a word up here. That means, eyelash trim. Or you could use this lace. Let's see if it's wide enough. No, I don't think so. Alright, well, I will find a word and put it on there, and I will either use the eyelash trim or I will use some lace, maybe a piece of this lace that matches. I gotta see how much of this I have now that I've used it. And put that up there to dry before I stick my hand in it. We need something big enough. it's perfect. I know you can't see me. I'm just lining this up here. We can trim this down. Perfect. I don't think we need anything. If we put anything there, then it's going to cover our border. The surprise will be how many pockets we fit on this page. And I did it, see? There's the liquid pearl in the palm of my hand. I have to redo that dot. You couldn't have just waited. Okay. Looks good. That pretty much looks like it came on there. I like this no inking thing. Okay, so I'll set this out of the way to dry. And then I will see you in the next video. And that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay, bye-bye.